Tinkerers. Let's see. Are we good? I think we're good. Hello, hello. If you're just joining us, welcome to another Twitch broadcast where we're going to do some things by request. And ads. I got ads. We're going to do some Tinker crafting by request. So someone awesome in our community requested that we do some mazes and maze runner type Minecraft worlds. And I said, hey, what's that mean? I don't know what that means. So looking into it, it's like, oh, okay, this is pretty awesome. You're actually building a maze in Minecraft and challenging other people to find the end of it without cheating. So I decided I want to try it. So I want to try a workflow that takes basically any image, maybe any maze that you can find or draw or steal, and take that as an SVG file, which is basically a line drawing file, into Tinkercad, create a model, and then take that into Minecraft. And it's super simple. So I want to do that now. Basically, the way that you start is well, you got to find a file. So I am in Tinkercad right now, and basically what we're going to end up doing is going over here. I know you can't see my mouse arrow, but if you click import, let's see, where is my import? Where is import? Where's my screen? I thought I had a screen, but I don't have a screen. Let's try something real quick. I'm going to... Man, it's just technical difficulty after technical difficulty with this, isn't it? Let's try and find that. Let's do this. I'm going to do that. Hold please. Hold the line, please. Boom. Okay. So I'm just on my dashboard. I'm going to create a new design. Ignore these cute little animal models. Those will come later. Those are a surprise for next week. But if you go to create new design, this at least gets you started. And then we will go on the interwebs and find our awesome SVG. But basically what we're going to do is go up here into the right-hand corner. And eventually we're going to click import. And that's where we're going to take our SVGs. Now I've done a little bit of cheating. And I have a program called Adobe Illustrator. That may not be something that's on you guys' radar, but if you have it, cool. If not, look into it. But basically, it's just a way to edit an SVG drawing, a line drawing. If you don't have Illustrator, it's okay. You can find SVGs on the internet that will work in Tinkercad, but the reason I need to use Illustrator and I wanted to show you guys is that most mazes are, oddly enough, line drawings, literally line drawings. And so the trouble with that in Tinkercad is you can't import a line. A line doesn't have je ne sais quoi. It doesn't have a thickness, right? So the line has thickness, but it doesn't have volume. Maybe that's the way to put it. And therefore, it can't be made into a 3D model easily in Tinkercad. So what we have to do is take that line, make it thick, and then give it volume. So what I've done is, if you see this little selection, what you need to do in Illustrator is go up into the top, and I realize you can't see my window here, but basically you go Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. So stroke is just Illustrator's word for the line and the line thickness. So you have to make that stroke, that thickness, really thick. And if you outline the stroke, it takes the thickness of that single line and makes it have width, so that it actually is a thick line. It has volume. So I've done that already. It's just outline, stroke, save. Once it's saved, then you have that SVG, name it something that you want to name it. Let's go back into Tinkercad, and then from there I just go choose a file. So I know that I have saved my file as, let's see, I know you can't see it, but if I go, saved it under mazes, Maze 19 lines. So, Maze 19 lines SVG. Let's just import it, see what happens in terms of size. And then we think. Go have a good cup of coffee. Okay. Now that is a massive block. That is not a maze. Let's try again. I'm going to go back into Illustrator, see what I can do here. I'm going to try and merge these things. Oops. I'm going to try and merge these things in a way that makes sense. This might have been it. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Let's try that. So I'll save it. And then we will go back into Tinkercad. Get rid of that dummy. Try import. Do that one more time. I remember. Oh, hey, look at there. That's pretty cool. It's actually the opposite of what we need, but we can work with that. So that's pretty fun. It's always exciting when an SVG populates in Tinkercad because it literally gives it a whole new dimension. But it's just always kind of nice and gratifying to see a 2D thing come to life, as it were. So from here, you can give it a lot of depth. That's pretty fantastic. So like I said, this is actually the opposite of what we need, and by that I mean that basically where there is pink, we need it to be open. Where there is openings, we need those to be the lines. So that's easy enough to fix. Let's just try and do something here. Actually, this is kind of cool. I wish that you could do that in Minecraft. That'd be cool. So you could do glass. I bet you could make it into glass. Anyway, so we'll do that later. We'll try that again. So let's try, and basically what we're going to do is create this SVG that we've imported. We could do a couple things. We could try again. I could make the black white. I can invert those colors in Illustrator. But this gives me an opportunity to show you how else you can do. So basically now what you can do is take any old shape and cut a maze out of it, right? So that's kind of a cool thing to think about. So let's try. I want to do a round roof. And that round roof is roughly the shape of our maze that we imported. I liked this maze, and I wanted to use it because it has that arc top. You don't really see that a lot. So let's try. What I'm doing is actually using the work plane helper. The work plane helper is, well, it's a helper that creates a work plane. So any place that you put this work plane helper on any face of any object, that defines your new ground. So in Tinkercad, you start with the editor as the blue grid being the ground, the floor. With the work plane helper, you can define any surface to be the new ground from which you can build off of. So let's try that again. Let me show you what I mean. So I have this half cylinder, and if we were to look at, let's just zoom out here. If you were to look at our maze, basically the half cylinder would only really get to about, right at that midpoint, right where the arc sort of starts. So we need to have a block to take up more room. So let me show you what I mean. Zoom in. By the way, I'm hitting F to fit, fill, and focus on a thing. If you take that work plane and click the face of your half cylinder round roof, you can drag that box just like I did. Click work plane, any old place back in the editor, and that gives you back your blue ground. So now those two faces are mated, and I can change the dimension of our box to fit that thing. So if I look at this, I can just see it's 20 millimeters wide, and that's 20 millimeters wide as well. So I'll just align the two. Oops. Whoa, that's a big old thing. So if I select those two things, and I can align them. Come on, Tinkercad beta. All right. So now those things are lined up on that axis. I can actually make this a little bit shorter. Oops, 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 oops. Length and width are a little bit wonky there. Oh, you're starting to make me angry. So I was trying to play with within the inspector to manipulate the dimensions of the box, but really I'm just going to use these white handles and do it manually. You'll see that little error pop up behind my ugly face. So I know that the round roof is 12 millimeters high, so I can click, and then type in 12, and that gives me exactly 12 millimeters high. I'm just going to hit D to drop that. And now let's just get some dimensions on our giant maze here. I'm just going to scale this down so that we can see it a little better in relation to our thing there. Okay, so if it is 178 wide by 160 tall, let's scale that down even more to 20. We'll say 20. That's what it's going to be. So we want, if it's 20-ish wide, it needs to be 18-ish tall. So this guy is 10. We need to make our box 10. Oops, excuse me, we need to make our box 8, because 18, not 20. Now, overall, we have a box that is 18 by 20. Or we have a shape that's 18 by 20, and in that we're going to fit our maze, which is 18 by 20 ish. 18 by 20. So now, great, we're going to group those things. Now, I just thought of something. When I bring this maze over to the top of this guy, it's going to be the same width, and therefore the sides will just cut out of each other. So I actually need to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to hold Shift and Option, and if I click any of the handles and move them, then it's a proportionate dimension change. So that means that I can do that. And just to give you a little bit clearer image, let's go ahead and align these two things. See where I'm going with this? Now, if you click our maze, turn it into a hole. Is that going to happen? That's going to happen. How do you get in the maze? Oh, let's try. Oh, okay. Well, let's try it. See what happens. Okay. There you go. Now we have a maze. That's amazing. All right. Now I like that. That's going to be awesome, but that outside wall is super too thick. So let's just scale it down so we can see it a little better. How do you get in? First of all, how do you get in the maze? And then that outside wall is way too thick. So let's try just scaling this down a little bit. Again, Shift and then Alt Option for Mac. I'm just going to make it a little smaller. Just like that. And if I click outside, you might be asking, Andy, what did you just do? So basically, within a grouped object, so say you have two objects that are grouped together and they become a single thing. If you double click oops, that object, you'll see that little red footprint. That means you're working within a group. So whilst within that group, you can edit individual components, and then when you get out of that group, the editing of those components will change your final thing. So for example, the walls that I just made were too thick, so I scaled them down from within the model, or from within the group, excuse me, and now when I click outside the group, those changes take effect. Let's try it again. So if I I'm going to change my snap grid to 0.1 just so that I can get even more detailed. And I'm going to hold Shift and Alt Option one more time and make that just a little bit narrower. Now, if I click outside, booyah, there we go. So now we have our awesome, awesome maze. But how do you get in the maze? That's a good question. Now it's easy peasy. You can put a door anywhere you want, really. If you really want to screw with people on your maze, you can put the door in a place that it doesn't go, and so they enter the maze in some weird way that they have to take. Because this one, basically, there's only one way out. So admittedly, this is a really easy maze. It's just annoying because you got to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. What you could do is put a door at the top, at the apex of this maze, and then you have the person doing the maze has the decision right away to go right or left. And if they go one way, they'll just hit a dead end here at the bottom, or if they go the other way, they'll hit a dead end, I guess, in the middle. But maybe we'll put a prize in the middle. So let's not be too insensitive, and let's put a work plane. Let's put a door on the very front of our maze. So again, I'm going to use the work plane. And that just gives me a way to drop a giant box. Just gives me a way to drop a cube onto the face right there. And I'm just going to click the work plane again, go back to regular view, and then zoom in so that I can put this little box where I want it. Now, actually, what I should do is, just forget that, I'll put a work plane on this side wall here. And that way when I click my box and hit D, it'll move a little bit, and I know that it'll be flush to that wall. Now, I just have to make it flush to the other wall. Almost. Just try and zoom in and get a little bit better view. Now that's going to be tight and it won't look perfect. Oh, there you go. Now just in case, what I'm going to do is make this longer so that you can't actually see where it cuts off. Hole, select all of those things, Command G, or click the group icon at the top, and boom, now I have an entrance to my aggravating maze. Okay, there you go. That's fantastic. Now let's give it a little bit of proportionate height. How tall is Steve? 1 meter. Let's see. Well, I can actually change that in my Tinkercrafting tab. So speaking of, let's just see what that looks like. Now you could actually, if you felt diabolical enough, you could actually 3D print this and put a hamster in it or something. That might be kind of fun. That'd be awful. Do not do that. That is a terrible idea. Let's see. All right. So let's see what that looks like in Minecraft. So I'm going to take that thing, go up here to the pickaxe. If you go on the top right, there's a little pickaxe Minecraft tab. Click that. That'll take you into Tinkercrafting. Now, as you may have remembered from the last Tinkercraft videos that we did, resolution is key here. So the smaller something is, the less resolution it's going to have because of the non-changing size in Minecraft of the blocks, right? Because the blocks in Minecraft don't change size, the resolution is dependent on how many blocks there are. So if the thing is really small, there's not that many blocks. So we want to make it larger. So if you click on the top resolution keys up here, there's low, medium, and high. Here's something a little bit closer to what we're gonna do. That's gonna be kind of cool. And I don't mind that it's a little, yeah, we have to do big. Another thing, let's just go back into our editor and make this larger. So it still fits on the work plane. Now that when we go into our Tinkercrafting, we get a little bit better resolution. So now, that's kind of cool. We could leave it like that, but if we click super high resolution, it'll do a little think, And there we go. So this is actually what it will look like in Minecraft. And I don't mind that it's huge, because let's think about the labyrinth of Minos, the Minotaur. That labyrinth was none too small. So here we go. Now we got a really cool arch maze. All you got to do is click export in the top right up here. But before we do that, let's make it customized. What materials do we want to use? You know, I've tried to use lava and made a maze out of hot lava. It's not as fun as it sounds. You could do it out of water, but that wouldn't be too. Ooh, let's try it out of TNT. So I'm gonna make this maze out of TNT. We'll do TNT this time, but one thing to consider is the mazes that I've done the last few days. I like the idea of making a maze and an environment in Minecraft where this maze is like some old ruined temple, Mayan something or another. So one thing that you could do is make it out of diamond ore, and because diamond ore actually kind of looks like it's got algae or something growing on it, it's kind of a cool little thing. One thing you could also do is leaves, so you could make it into a, I don't know, eco maze, whatever. Let's try it out of TNT, and then maybe we'll blow it up. That should be fun. So export. When you export your model, that will make you a schematic file. Once that schematic file downloads, then you open it up in MC Edit. So I'm going to do this on the quick, and we'll just do a little reconfiguring. Now, if you open up MC Edit, if you're not familiar with MC Edit, it is it's a Minecraft editor. It's basically a world creator where you can create a world. I use it a lot for the Tinkercad to Minecraft workflow, just because it's the simplest. As I've said before, there are some quirks to it. There is a version for PC and there is a new version for Mac, but I don't have a PC and I do not like the new version for Mac, so I'm using the older version of MC Edit, and it's MC Edit 1.5. So take that for what it's worth. But so let's try something else. I'm going to create a new world, and in that world, I'm going to make it creative, and I'm going to blank slate this. I want it to be an organic world. You could do a super flat world where it's just a level plane, and that's cool, but it doesn't. I like the idea of putting this thing in situ. I like putting it in nature, like it's a ruin. So, especially because it's going to be made of TNT. So we'll just create, and whilst that is thinking, we'll just call it TNT, because I'm TNT. Maze. Save that, and that's going to think a bit. And just going to do some file management here. That is still thinking. So I did one of these. In fact, while that's thinking, let's just go to the one I made yesterday. This one's actually pretty cool. Okay, so the world's actually been created. It's just working in MC Edit. Hilltop Maze, I think is pretty fantastic, actually. Um, and I think I figured out a way. The reason I wanted to do this video is because um, that one was fun, and I actually added some quirks to it. I'll do a run through this one in a minute. Um, in creative mode, the maze itself's difficult. So I did some things I thought were pretty cool. So basically, you see these torches. These torches actually highlight um, a couple holes in the ground, and those holes go into little bunkers. That's just a pitfall that'll put you out. But basically, this maze is a hilltop, is a cavity underneath. So the cavity underneath. Hang on, I realize this is too small. The cavity underneath is dark, right? So there's not any sunlight, and so monsters are down there. So if you fall down there, you're toast. But there are a couple of bunkers that I've connected, and they have a bed, so you can save and go back to daytime. But let's jump over to MC Edit because that has loaded. So now world created. Okay. Oh, good. It's a water world, which is exactly the opposite of what I need. Let's see if there's any land. Oh, we can do an underwater maze. That'd be stupid. All right, let's try this again. Let's just create a new one, and we'll try again. And we will make this TNT maze. I'll just override it. Cause I'm TNT. Okay, so while that's doing that, we'll go back to this maze. So let's see. Get my bone here. I made a waterfall. That was fun. Let's go over here. So basically, the idea is there's this little village, presumably a fishing village. I don't know why I gave it a backstory. So I kind of couldn't help myself. But anyway, there's an entrance, right? So as you go into the maze, straight away, it's like, okay. I mean, it's a maze. It's supposed to be confusing. But as you go through, some of the waypoints that you have are... Oops, dead end. Dead end. Oh. Now I have not run this maze as a guy. I've only been creating it. What I'm looking for are, well, of course, is the exit, but there are these little hint, like right there. See those little hint torches. Now, if you go through those, oh, there we go. There's always there's going to be 2 torches and then a third, and that third will lead you to this little room, which goes down. And see, there's another room over there that you can get to, and that'll actually pop you up in another area of the maze. Oh, now what I thought was creepy is this glass, and you can see some spiders in there. Let's just try. So they don't even care. But it's light enough in here that things will stay away, but occasionally a zombie or a oop, I can't see, creeper will walk over. Let's just go to the other side. So I like that there's a bed. I like this idea of kind of going underground and popping up in a new place, perhaps strategically, but kind of a cool idea for a maze. Let's see, is there anything over there? So that's where we were. Yeah, I was doing, when I made this thing, it was, of course I was in creative mode, so I didn't have to worry about anything, but as I'm building this thing underground, it's super creepy because you get putting panes of glass, and then all of a sudden you look over and there's a skeleton checking you out. Okay, so now it's getting dark. So that's when I'd go down to the bunker and bunker down. Okay, so I see that MC Edit's back open, so let's go back to that. And hopefully we have something not watery. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so again, I like the idea of this this maze being sort of in and overtaken by nature. So I got nothing but nature here with a bunch of trees. So let's just find a good place that looks like it would make sense for some ancient civilization to build a confounding maze. And I think right in the middle of these trees should be fine. Let's try it. So if you go to import, this will help you find your thing, and it is Hilltop Maze, Maze Runner. What did I call it? TNT Maze. Okay. So if you remember last time, it brings it in as a huge thing. So if you just click somewhere, that's kind of like putting it down. It's just kind of like setting it down for a second. You're not nailing it down, you're not committing, but it allows you to mouse over and change their scale factor. So if I think that half size should work. I can actually hit E to rotate the thing. And now this one, because there's so many trees, it might, pardon me, it might not make a lot of sense. But I figured out if you click this little copy air option, that will allow you to basically place only the physical part of the schematic, only the physical part of the walls, for example. That way, if the copy air is on, that means that the whole box that surrounds the maze will just clear away everything. If I take off copy air, only what's a thing in the box, only the TNT will occupy the Minecraft world. So that means that the trees will still be growing up within the maze, and I kind of don't mind that. So let's just move this guy around. And how does that look? Looks amazing, Andy. That's what you're supposed to say. So we'll just go in and see. That means our entrance. It's gonna be funny. Let's just get down here. Okay. Okay, so case in point, I like the terrain to sort of have been built around it, so I'm gonna move this guy down so that he touches the lowest part of the ground. Now, arguably you could just jump up a tree and jump over the walls, but hey, maybe that's part of the maze. So, now I know he's underground. Let's just go down. Oopsie doopsie. I'm just going to go up a little bit. There we go. There. Now that should be flat on the lowest part of the ground. Let's just hit enter. We'll commit. And then that's going to copy. And oh, did I have copy air? I think I had, yeah. So copy air was off, so now the trees are going to go through it. Oh no, I turned copy air back on. Crap. Crud. Let's try undo. Love Command Z. We'll just undo it, try again. So again, we go import. Scroll down to my TNT maze. Pause it, go down to point, what do we say? 0.6? Sure. 0.6, place it, nudge it, rotate it. It's almost exactly where it was before I messed it up. And then we'll go down one more time. All the way down. By the way, if someone drops a match or their candle in this maze. We're all in. All the little critters are going to be in for a surprise. So I'm just seeing where the door is going to be. I think that's going to be perfect. Oh, this is going to be so hard to navigate. I think we need to blow this up. Enter. Commit. And then I'm going to hit Command S rather, to save. While that guy's doing his thing. Okay, so that is saved. I'm going to Command W to quit that guy. Go back to our game. I'll just save and quit. And then we did it as Untitled, not TNT, that didn't take. So we'll do Untitled World 4. Oops. There we go. So now that I've made this world in MC Edit, all you have to do is open it in your Minecraft world, or Minecraft. So what I'd love to do, and you guys are going to have to help me out, is I'm not really sure how to, but am I flying? Oh, taking a little while. Is to actually share that as a world. Is that something that you can do? Can you package this up? And I know that you can download other worlds and other mazes to play with. So that I'm gonna work on that today and see if I can actually create a world for people to download. So let's just try. Go. Let's try. There we go. Oh, okay. Okay, well, it didn't quite go all the way down, but. Oh, good. Let's try it the other way. Oh, am I not? Am I committed? Okay. It didn't go all the way down, but it's still kind of cool. Did I do that right? Oh well. I guess I didn't make it creative. Well, you know what? This is kind of cool, but now I'm kind of committed because I'm in this maze. I wonder. So then here I can go clean it up. Oh, okay, we're good. Your maze cannot hold me. Oh, well, yeah, it can. Dirt can, though. Let's just get out of here so we can blow it up. Okay, there's our maze. Now I don't have any God mode going on here. Game mode 1. Can I do that? Let's see. I think I'm committed here. Let's try this. Let's try. Oh, that's why it's in survival. Let's go back to MC Edit for a second. Haha. You know what? Let's get an overview here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did the copy error again. Man. Goofy. Okay, so well, you get the point. You get the idea anyway. So that said, let's try and explode it. Well, there we go. I'll try some new things. But anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Super, super simple to get into Minecraft from Tinkercad. But now you can actually take an SVG that you can find anywhere and create a custom maze. Now, if you're going crazy, you can actually go into Illustrator or like Corel or even Pixlr. Graphic is an Autodesk, not Pixlr, Sketchbook, excuse me. Graphic is an Autodesk product that allows you to create vectors from photographs. So any place you can get an SVG file, you can bring that into Tinkercad, create a two-dimensional drawing, an image, and then extrude it and give it height, and that will create a three-dimensional model that you can make a model into, that you can make a Minecraft schematic out of, and take right into Minecraft. So I'm gonna try and get out of this maze that I've created that I have no idea how to get in or out of. I'm gonna go back downstairs so I don't get eaten, and I'm gonna take a nap. So I'm gonna take a nap. Oh, there's monsters nearby. Is there a monster? Well, I'm gonna go battle monsters. So if you have any questions, holler. We're at Tinkercad on Twitter. I'm at Andy Taylor. Leave me a message here on the Twitch channel or on our YouTube page, where this video should live. And if you have any suggestions, check back this week. We're gonna do some more fun things that I alluded to earlier. Hello. So we'll do some more of that. And till next time, tinker away. Bye.